Yo, what is going on, my YouTube people? 2099 back here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be discussing something that I wish I had never done, but I feel like it is a must. The Iranian national team is going through a lot, and there is something I feel like there just needs to be some addressing of. I'm joined with my good friend Art from @TeamMelliTalk, and today we're going to be talking about the lack of youth or youngsters in the Iranian national team. Art, how are you?
Doing all right, Arya. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
First off, we're gonna go on and talk about the recent two games that we just played against Hong Kong and Uzbekistan for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. And we've seen a lot more youth players getting integrated. And initially, my reaction to that was, oh, okay, finally, maybe Ghalenoei finally understood. Finally, he's gonna put on some youngsters. And the only youngster that played was Hossein Ajad. 5 minutes, I believe, and it was against Hong Kong when the game was already done. Amin Hasbavi, probably our best youngster as of now, has been called up to 6 national team games, and he hasn't played a single second.
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, I got to a point recently in some of my videos talking about how, I'm tired of beating a dead horse. But the thing is, I got to keep on saying it. And that is, yeah, it's ridiculous because, these guys have got to play. For me, the whole point is, when are they going to get the chance? I've heard other Team LA supporters say that now is the time to bring in the young players. And that's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's always the time to bring in young players. I've never said before, just replace the national team with the entire under 23 squad. That's just even more ridiculous. But you still got to start bringing in the younger players that need to take the places of players who don't need to be called up anymore. And some of those players are Shoja Khalilzadeh. He doesn't need to be called up at all. Neither does Omid Ibrahimi. He's 36 years old. Why was he even called up for these last 2 matches?
Look, I get it. The Asian Cup is upon us in a few months, and I get Ghalenoei wants to get, the best players possible. That's completely understandable. Maybe now is a little bit of a bad timing. I get it. But when it comes against these friendlies like Angola, Kenya, these sort of nationals, and with all due respect to those national teams, and you've got your best players playing in that, it's weird. I don't mind seeing, Taremi and Osmoon play, but why not give chances to some of the younger guys? And Hossein Ajad is probably the youngster that has played the most under Ghalenoei. I would say he's been getting a few amount of minutes, nothing really special. But nevertheless, it's just, in one way, I would say, are we doomed? Is Ghalenoei waiting for after the Asian Cup? What is his plan? There is no clear plan as to what these youngsters even bring to the table. And another example I'll be bringing is the recent inclusion of Sahar Khizan, who was included in the first game, obviously didn't play against Hong Kong, and then in the second game against Uzbekistan, he wasn't even named in the dress list. So then what's the point of even calling him up? What is the point?
When the list was first announced, I was pleasantly surprised when I saw a list of players. Because you had Saeed Sahar Khizan, Arya Yousefi, Mohamed Warbani, also Amin Hasbavi, and Mohammad Javad Hossein Ajad. But like you said, they don't make the dress list. They don't even put them in. You're right. What's the whole point? I know some people are going to say that Amir Ghalenoei is probably thinking that, okay, they're not ready yet. But if you keep having that mindset of they're not ready yet, then when are they going to be ready? Do they just sit in a machine for like 12 hours and get all this, playing experience at the national level? No, it doesn't happen like that. You got to put them in there. Like you said, you talked about those other friendly matches against Angola. They had that friendly tournament, which would, mind you, was extremely pointless against Jordan and Qatar. Those were the matches to really test out at least 5 or 6 players. And if you don't win the tournament, so what? So be it. It was just a friendly tournament. Give the kids a chance to play.
And this moves on to my next point. Recently, the Under-17 World Cup just ended. Well, not ended, but it's ongoing, but it ended for Iran. We've had an incredible campaign, right? Probably having the game of the tournament by beating Brazil, being 2-0 down, and then coming back 3-0. There's a lot of talent in that team, and that includes Yahoub Barage, that includes Ismail Gholizadeh, Kasra Tahiri, Amir Razerinia, Asha Shakuri, and my personal favorite, Nima Andaz. I'm seeing this from a point of view where we clearly have the talent. If we are able to beat teams like Brazil and going neck to neck with teams like England, even Morocco, we more than enough have talent. The issue is what happens to these guys once they get out of that age group. Then agents become a problem, then obviously sanctions, passports, and all that become an issue. Obviously, it's not as easy for an Iranian player to go abroad than other countries, certainly. But it's scary and it's very worrying for me to see that these guys are clearly good players and have bright futures, but is that necessarily going to transmit to the senior team? That's what I'm scared of. in the under-17 World Cup that we had in 2017, where we were, I would say, even better. We beat Germany 4-0. That was the Saad Manesh era. The only player that is sort of relevant is Saad Manesh, and even he's kind of starting to fall apart, not even playing games for Hull City. So that's the kind of worry I have for these players coming up.
Well, I understand your concern for it. You know, like you mentioned, not too many players from that era are really relevant at the national level. But I think, you know, sometimes with these players at younger levels, you know, if they don't end up really, you know, playing very well, you know, it's very easy to overlook them and say, okay, we got to call up some better players. But yeah, I agree with you in that there needs to be, they need to be given an opportunity. And if they're given the opportunity and they're not playing well, okay, at least you gave them a shot.
Brings me to the next point is, well, in the under-23 Asian Cup qualifiers, Iran did not make it. So Iran will not be participating in the under-23 Asian Cup. I know, that is very, very concerning. And it's not like the under-23 national team is bad. Players like Hasbavi was playing, players like Saad Manesh were playing, Salmani, all these guys were in the squad. It still wasn't enough for them to make it through. So is it a question of skill? Is it a question of management? What is going on? In my opinion, the whole youth just issue / development in Iran, it completely needs to be reworked. It's clearly not working. Clearly the federation doesn't care at all about these young players, and they're going to wait for these guys to be 27, 28 and then call them up. And it's very, very concerning.
Well, you know, you mentioned the development. Yeah, the development for young Iranian footballers has never been very good. It's there's not a lot of continuity. We see coaches come and go, whether it's U20 level or U23 level, and it's really disappointing because, you know, these players are the future of Team Melli, and you know, this is really, it's frustrating at times.
So that's pretty much it for this video. It's been a pretty big rant on how youth development is going on in Iran. It's not looking good. A lot of people wouldn't see that as necessarily a huge or a major problem. I get that maybe at this current moment in time that we're speaking right now, it may not be the biggest of deals, obviously, but this is things that have been going on for quite a while, and it's just worrying. It's worrying that these guys don't get chances. And again, in the 2022 FIFA World Cup, we were the oldest squad. I think our youngest player was like 25 or something. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we don't have a few youngsters to play.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, if you watched my most recent video, recapping the game against Uzbekistan, the head coach of Uzbekistan, Srechko Katanets, he brought on 20-year-old Abosbek Fazulayev of CSKA Moscow. He was involved in that game-tying goal. He's got plenty of speed. He's tough to mark. And look, he's 20 years old. Did you see Katanets saying, "Oh, I got to just bring on these guys who are 30 and 31 years old"? No, he's doing what all coaches need to do, and that is put the best players on the pitch. And that's why I really have to continue to just keep on bashing Ghalenoei, because he has no idea what he's doing. And you know, there's some of those Iranian football fans who claim that I'm just hating on him because they say I don't like Esteghlal. That's just absolutely ridiculous. I want Team Melli to win, no matter what.
That's going to be pretty much it for this video. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash that subscribe button and like the video as well. It does mean a lot. Obviously, all of my social media will be down in the description down below. Make sure to subscribe to my friend Art at TeamMelliTalk. All of his social media links will be down in the description for you guys to check out as well. And that's pretty much it. Is there anything else you want to say?
I think I'm good. Thank you, Arya. It was a pleasure to be on your show again, and all the best to you.
And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Damn, I'm on red alert. Now she went up in the dirt.